Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Supersize your business, lock, stock, and barrel. What the heck does that mean? Now, it originally means the three parts of a gun, right? But to have a gun as show and tell on social media would be totally inappropriate, especially with the rioting and things that are going on in my neck of the woods right now. So lock, stock, and barrel. The lock, of course, is the firing mechanism. The stock is the handle, and the barrel is the tube that the bullet or the shotgun shell or something, if it's a shotgun, travels on in a gun when you're shooting a gun. Lock, stock, and barrel could also refer to the old general store, where the lock was, of course, the lock on the door. The stock was all the merchandise in the crazy everything sold here general store, and the barrel is actually where they did business. They had their transactions that they would do. The barrel was like the checkout counter of the olden days. They would use a barrel, and sometimes they would use the barrel for tables, for serving food and things. So lock, stock, and barrel could have come from the description of a general store, or more likely probably from a gun, right? The parts of a gun. Now lock, stock, and barrel, of course, means and came to mean by the early 19th century to mean all of something, or all of the parts or components of something, everything all together. And what does that mean to us now? I can think of one of the first times I heard the expression lock, stock, and barrel was we had bad weather and probably a tornado go through, and it had destroyed one of our outbuildings, a barn. And my dad said that it was gone, lock, stock, and barrel, meaning the whole thing was destroyed. There was nothing left of it. Right now there's rioting going on in my area, and businesses are being burnt to the ground, and that means that they're being lost, lock, stock, and barrel. Everything is being destroyed. There's been tire stores, apartment building, to all types of businesses, Targets, what else? Foot Lockers, things like that. But just, blocks of businesses have been burnt to the ground and are lost, lock, stock, and barrel. With the COVID-19 virus, a lot of our businesses have been shut down, and months of revenue have been, lost, lock, stock, and barrel. Some people have lost their jobs, and their income has been shut off, lock, stock, and barrel, right? Immediately, just everything gone, poof, up in smoke. Entire industries have been destroyed, other industries have been created, but all in all, it's sort of like mayhem and chaos. So things that include everything. Now, how does this and what does this have to do with our businesses? Lock, stock, and barrel, what the heck does that have to do with my business, and how can I look at it? Sometimes you sell out all of your merchandise, and so you've sold it all out, lock, stock, and barrel. I think I use the expression more the whole enchilada or the whole shebang, more than I probably ever said lock, stock, and barrel. But I get the all-inclusiveness of it. Sometimes we need to look at our businesses in order to help them grow or survive during different times of change and chaos. Lock, stock, and barrel, meaning we have to do an overall audit of our business and of all the components of our business, and we have to look at how are we doing things, why are we doing things, what's important, and analyze and make sure that we're still in alignment with those priorities, and that's still things that we want to create in our business and in our life. Very few times in our lives do we get to actually stop and consider what's going on in our life and in our business, unless we do it intentionally. I never did it, really. I never considered globally what was going on in my life or my business until I had a sudden cardiac arrest, and I had a personal full stop where I had to stop, do everything I was doing. Well, I didn't. I was in a coma, so when you're in a coma, you pretty much stop everything you're doing. But I had to stop everything I was doing, and then I had to re-examine and decide piece by piece what I was going to add back into my life, what was really important. And I think COVID-19 has given us an opportunity to do that in many of our businesses. The businesses that have been taking off or having to quickly change direction in order to meet the demands and the needs and solve problems for people throughout the pandemic are in a slightly different position, because they'll have to intentionally find time to do that work, to look at and audit and find ways to improve their processes. We always want to be continually improving and finding ways to improve the things that we do, how we serve customers, what we do for customers, how we interact, we create internal systems to make things consistent and predictable for ourselves and for the people that we interact with. There's so many ways to do that. It's important that we do, but so often we're so busy running our businesses and running through our lives that we don't get the time to stop and do that, but we need to as part of, and we need to look at everything, right? Because sometimes the littlest things can have the biggest impact on our businesses. Sometimes a little thing in our life that we're neglecting or not paying attention to can actually have the biggest impact on our life by just changing some small thing. That's why it's important on some frequency to at least once a year take a step back and say, how is it going? How is my business going? Is it going the direction I want it to? Are there key things? Because we always know on reflection what we need to do next for our business, what we need to do next for our lives, if we take the time to look at the whole situation, look at all the components and all the parts of it. Sometimes we find that there's just a part missing, and if we add one individual or one resource, it changes everything. So I encourage you to do a quick audit of your business and your life today and look at it lock, stock, and barrel. Look at each of the different aspects. Look at the way you interact with customers. Look at the way you do things. Look at your accounting systems. And it doesn't have to be in great detail, but it's pretty quick and easy to take each area of your business and do a quick SWOT analysis on it. What are our strengths? What are our weaknesses? What are our opportunities? And what are our threats in this particular area of our business? I do that with my businesses all the time now, and I do it on a scheduled basis so that I make sure that it gets done. And I encourage you to do the same so that you don't find yourself losing your entire business lock, stock, and barrel. Have an awesome day. I actually like this expression. I remember it from the kids going through gun safety. It's probably the only time I've actually said lock, stock, and barrel. But it is a good expression. It's been with us for a long time. And it's a great way of describing the whole thing, the entire thing, all of anything. Love to know your experience with this expression, or if there's an expression or an idiom that you would like to know the history or the name of, hit me up in the comments below and I will check it out for all of us and figure out how we can tie it into our businesses today. Have an amazing day, and I will of course be with you tomorrow.